Hello and welcome to another video. Today, as you can see, I've got a Hornby RailRoad flying Scotsman in front of me. I got it for £40, second hand, but you wouldn't be able to tell, from Hartlepool Model Railway Show. I went to it at the weekend. It's now Monday as of recording this. So I had to get a new coupling fitted to the back of the tender so I could haul carriages, or any rolling stock really. And I've got an empty bar at the front just in case I need to pull anything, but I can take this out because it just clips into the bogie here. But it's an absolutely lovely model, and I won't show you taking it out of the box because unless you're an idiot, you know how to take things out of a box, frankly. I will show you around the loco. There is on the inside a little bit of, I'll get you back on the track. There's a little bit of detail on the inside. Let me just try and focus this. Zoom in a little bit for you. Yeah, oh god, I've got to call it in a minute, so apologies if I'm sniffling. There is a little bit of detail. It's not painted, and I might do that at some point. But for now, that's more than adequate detail on a RailRoad model. And tender as well. I'll zoom it back out. There we go. And like a good amount of detail still on the corridor tender. Ooh. Apologies for that. A good amount of detail on that tender. And obviously, like I say, it is a corridor tender because obviously it's got the port on the back for the drivers to swap around. Just connects with this little pin. No current is passed between the tender and the loco. So, nice if I get it first time, wouldn't it? So I don't live too far away from Hartlepool, and this is doing my head in now. Come on. There we go. I don't live too far away from Hartlepool, just 10-15 minutes on the bus. In between Hartlepool and Stockton. Which, if you don't know, or you're outside the UK, is near Middlesbrough, which is near Newcastle, which is in the north. So there's your basic rundown. But she's an absolutely lovely model. The linkage, really, really nice. Printing is nicer than I expected it to be. Coal, not obviously removable, wouldn't expect it to be. Non-slidable roof vents, as it were. These little whistles seem to be individually added, and while there is a seam line, you can't see it too well, even in real life, not just through the viewfinder on my camera. Separate hand railing, although I've noticed this is snapped just now. I don't know if you can see that, but this has snapped in two. Oh man, apologies. I can easily fix that though. Non-sprung buffers, the RailRoad model, what you expect. But no, in general, it's really nice, so I'm going to show you how it runs. So, for the purpose of this section, I've got a basic loop of track set up with some coaches. So, it's a mixture of Hogwarts Express coaches. Apologies for that. I'm recording on my phone and I had to take a phone call. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'd said. So I've got some Hornby coaches from the Hogwarts Express train set, which I got at a car boot a couple of months ago. £30 for the engine, which sadly is now non-running, but I'm going to try and get that fixed and maybe do a review on that. This coach and the brake coach over there, and most of this track, and there's a decent amount of it. I mean, a couple of the points, actually most of the points were mine already, but there was a good amount of track that came from that set of that car boot sale. I've got some, and then just some of my uncle's GWR stock that I borrowed for the sake of having something to run behind her, because honestly it'd be a shame just to run her on her own with just two carriages. You have to have a proper, like a good length rake of coaches behind her for her to pull. So yeah, let's get her out the side. Flick the points, and I'll show you just how smoothly she runs. It's even at slow speeds. I can just grab the controller and bring it over here. I show you, you can hear. Maybe you can't. Get on. There, I feel the motor engaged now. You can hear. Maybe just a little buzz. And then away. Give her a little nudge because this track is a bit shoddy. Jumps a little on points, not too fussed. It's only when it seems to do a second radius, then another second radius straight after that it seems to jump. I pull these points back and pull the engine back. Again, she's so smooth. And I'll speed her up a bit and go back. She's got something rather nice that I'll show you later on after I've showed you pulling some stock. She's apparently, according to the fellow in the model shop in Stockton, she has a flywheel, which means that when I run the train at a decent speed, it builds up momentum in that flywheel. And you see she has no problem with this. It's at a really low voltage. It builds up momentum when the train is running, and then when you cut the power, instead of stopping, she like slows down by converting the energy in the flywheel stored back into motion energy in the wheels, giving you a really smooth runner. And just at maybe 1 o'clock on the old Hornby dial, that is. There's some good speed. Thunder's past. It really is a stunning loco. And again, it would be a shame not to run this with some coaches. Let's give her a bit more oomph. Absolutely no trouble. That's at 3, well, about 3:15, and she's absolutely flying. Hence, maybe the flying Scotsman. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to decide. But she is truly stunning. She really does hold her own. And although the layout I'm modelling maybe isn't essentially LNER or even based in the LNER region, because I'm doing a BR transition period, sort of between the 60s and the 80s, sort of late 60s to early 80s, so I can have a wide variety running like rolling stock. You've got to have a Scotsman, haven't you? I saw this at £40. Oh, I don't know. At £40, you really can't complain. So I think now I'll just show you some running shots. And then after that, I'll show you the inertia that you get from the flywheel first of all. I just thought I'd show you very quickly. Just built a quick siding to house the coaches. I thought I'd show you how slowly she can push even a large train like this. So I'll clear you a view to her. From over here. Coach in sight. He is so smooth. Zoom over there, you'll see how smoothly I think it is running. Oh gosh, that quality's taking a dip there. Apologies for that for a second, but get a lot of that. I'm going to speed her up a little bit now, just because I'm quite impatient. But really, that is something else. Oh my, is that a derailment? Because these coaches, God, they are older than me. These belonged to my grandfather and have been passed. Unfortunately, when he passed away, they got passed on to my uncle, who's now said I can borrow them for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, until I can get myself a bit of stock. Because he's not got himself a layout properly sorted yet. So while I've got the actual potential to have one, said I can borrow them. Just use pliers for a second. Right, we have to do this off camera. But yes, I will show you now the inertia you get from the flywheel. So to show this off, there she is on the other side of the layout. And if I just, is that the right direction? It is. Okay, if I get her up to a decent speed, and you watch this control panel, I'm going to do one lap. Go on, love, off you go. Right, oh man, this gives me goosebumps. Gives me goosebumps. Alright, flick this. You'll see she takes a significant amount of time to slow down because the flywheel in here is being turned when the motor is turning the wheels. And when the motor cuts out, the flywheel is then given access to the wheels and converts its spinning back into power for the wheels. Off the top of my head, this is how I think it works, based on my knowledge of what a flywheel does. It converts power back into the wheels to allow a slow, steady deceleration. Because I stopped it about there, going at about 12 o'clock on the original controller. It's probably about 40 scale miles per hour, and it took a realistic-ish amount of time to brake. I mean, obviously it wouldn't brake anywhere near that fast in real life, but it's a lot better than just... So yeah, I think that about does it for this video. I'm going to hook her up to her coaches again and just give you a few shots of her running around the layout to finish up the video. That section of track appears to be a little bit dead. But again, it's a little tug and the inertia from the flywheel manages to get it over a lot of dead zones on the track. Which is really why it's a good idea for a lot of manufacturers now to be fitting flywheels to their newer locomotives, because, especially DC, because if you've got relatively crap track, I mean, like if you look at this is a newer point and this is in good condition. This has only been run over probably about 100 odd times, which is relatively new in terms of a large this layout, but like if I back her up a section, you can see this track here. If I focus properly, I don't know what's going on down there, like, but you can see the track is considerably worn, and a lot of the tracks around here sometimes it doesn't conduct, especially over there where she was stalling. You know, and that really does help her get over it because it generates its own small amount of electricity just to get over those dead zones. So thank you very much for watching, and next video I'll go over my track plans for the layout, and maybe even start nailing down some track. Thank you very much. Bye bye.